Hello, hello.
Hi. We're back
What are we talking
for
about
another
today?
show. We're talking about what if we had never met.
A hypothetical.
Yeah.
Well, I think just briefly, thinking about this topic, my life wouldn't be that much different. But I think
No.
yours would have been very different.
Yeah. For me, I could have gone a bunch of different ways. So, yeah, it's interesting to talk about. Some people don't like hypotheticals, but I find them interesting.
I'm not that big on them, especially
Yeah.
when you're having just lighthearted fun. But when people are serious about it and they have very serious discussions, I kind of find it a waste of time because there's a lot of people online that do these ridiculous hypotheticals about the government, the world, women, dating and stuff, and they effectively stop themselves from living life because they keep theorizing about hypotheticals all the time.
Yeah, I see that more as they're using hypotheticals as an excuse
As an escape.
to think a certain way or not to do a certain thing. But if it's just about hypotheticals and discussing them for fun, like I find that very fun. And it's interesting because you get to know yourself or certain things about yourself sometimes.
Well, also to appreciate where you are as well, because if you can look back to where you were and you probably would have just continued that because you saw no reason to change. Now you've changed and you like your life more, or maybe say you don't like your life more and you regret making a change and now you can't go back.
Yeah.
It's like people who leave their partner and they regret it later because they thought the grass was greener or something.
Yeah.
So it can go both ways. So let's talk about where we are now in our lives.
So now we're married, happy. We've been living together here for 2.5 years. Married for 2 years. And living in Melbourne, both working part-time, both kind of chill homebodies. We have a very nice life together, obviously, I would say. So, that's the way we're living now. And,
Keep talking. I'm just going to bring up Peg's comment.
okay. And then before we met, we were both, I think you were kind of living the same kind of life you're living now. In a way I was too. I was living on my own. I was working full-time as a teacher in Holland. But obviously also because I'm 15 years younger, I didn't yet know how my life would turn out. Like I could have gone a few different ways. And I feel like you had a better idea of how your life would have turned out. But, Northern Bell. No, I don't have a new job. Well, the first year I was here, I worked at, now I'm getting off topic a bit.
No, it's fine.
But, the first year I worked at a school that I didn't really like. The students were really, really bad. Because I started there at the beginning of the school year, and then 6 months in, I changed to tutoring, so I wouldn't have to be in front of the class anymore. It was really bad. But I stayed there for 1 year. And now, this second year, I'm working at a different job, a really good school, a new school, and I really like it. And I'm working 4 days a week. And then next year, I'm going to work 3 days a week, and I'm going to be teaching Dutch. So I really like the job I have now. Why did you think I have a new job?
I think last time you said you're going to go part-time. Your job is changing.
Maybe
or
that's
something.
why. Yeah. No, I'm going to stay with the same school, but I am going to go from 4 days to 3 days, the same days that he works. And instead of teaching English, I'm going to be teaching Dutch, which will be super fun. And I'm really excited about. Yes, I'm teaching English now, and I'm going to be teaching Dutch next year. Only Dutch. So obviously I like that a lot more. That's a lot more fun for me. Yeah.
I'm thinking about where I was before. I lived at home. I liked my life. I knew who I was, and I just wanted to continue it. I had a good sense of myself. And when I moved out of home, I just wanted to recreate my home life. Instead of having a bedroom for myself, I had a whole house. So I just like expanded my life at home, being responsible and stuff, like just basically owning everything and having complete freedom and responsibility. Like, so basically I just expanded my bedroom at home when I bought my house. And so I know I've been just maturing and living and growing from that spot. I haven't really changed my life in big ways. Whereas you have, like you've grown up, your family moved around the world and things.
Oh, yeah, I'm just talking about the point where I was, like, before I met you. Like, that point in time, not like my whole life before.
But I just wanted to touch on that my life hasn't changed ever. At home and when I came here, it really didn't change. Here it just expanded and I had complete freedom and more space. And then it hasn't really changed in a significant way until I met you, having to share my life with someone and create a home with somebody else. But it's always just been myself in my own space. And if I hadn't met you, it would have just continued to be that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you hadn't met me, your life would basically be the same as like a week before we started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think I would have gone on, maybe had a relationship here or there, but it would have been just the same old thing.
Yeah. Oh, we got one more question from...
Who?
Northern Bell. Did you ever think it would turn out the way it has initially, better than you could have imagined? Like our lives? I'm not surprised that I moved abroad, and I'm also not surprised that I married a foreigner. Because me and my family, so it actually does make sense to talk about our whole life a little bit. Because me and my family have always moved a lot. We've also lived in Aruba for 5 years. I did. They lived there for a bit longer. We've lived in Bonaire for a little bit when I was young. My parents have also lived in Suriname for a little while. And then now they live in Spain. And then I've also traveled a lot, like on vacation and stuff.
Yeah.
So we've always been very open to traveling and stuff, and we've always really liked that. And even though I really like Holland, I always thought, like, in the back of my head, I always thought I might move abroad later, or I might marry a foreigner. And I think that's because I always had the experience of being able to talk really well with foreigners for some reason. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because Dutch people are a bit more... they're very down to earth. And I noticed that with foreign people, also because I've lived in Aruba and there are a lot of American tourists there, I can talk more with them about more topics. And I noticed that with my first relationship as well, who was a man from England, I could have really good conversations with him as well, and obviously with you as well. So I'm not surprised that I moved abroad, and I'm not surprised that I married you, a foreigner. Is it better than I could have imagined? Yes, obviously, because I hit the jackpot with this one here. Yeah.
Well, I never planned this. I'm kind of more of a person that lives around the moment he's living. Like, I don't plan for, I don't have a 5-year, 10-year plan. I just plan for the near future, and I'm very responsible. I always figured if I would ever end up with someone, they would be European. In one way. I didn't think northern, like you, like colder climates. But I definitely never... There are certain nationalities and parts of the world where I never got along with those people very easily, I noticed I got along really easily with Greeks for some reason. I wouldn't have been surprised if I ended up with a Greek. I had 1 or 2 Greek girlfriends, but I always knew it would probably be with a European person. But I never actually thought like Scandinavian, that kind of area of the world. What do you call it? Scandinavian or...
Yeah, we're not Scandinavian.
No.
We are...
What's the other word? There's another word for your region. That area. The cold climate. Finns, Dutch. Anyway.
Well, I know that Sweden and Norway and that area, that's Scandinavian countries. Right. But we are not a part of that. So we were just in Europe, I guess. I don't know how.
Yeah, you're
what
kind
else?
of on your own. You're in between, like Europe, and Scandinavia. You're like in between. You're like the line in between. But I never even knew much about the Netherlands.
Lifetime, yeah. Yeah. Oh, with the burger. Did you add that for me?
Yeah.
If you added that for me, I love that. Ooh, Big Macs.
I don't get it started. Peg says, my relationships were better than I couldn't have imagined or even hoped for.
That's good.
Well, it's hard. Like, they're never going to be what you imagine, I think. I had no idea who you'd be, what you'd look like. I tend to go for brunettes all the time. If I would have ended up with someone blonde, that would have been very unexpected. There's certain things, that's kind of in line with what I've always liked or am into. European woman. But in terms of your personality, all the little things that go to make you up that made me want to be with you, no, I couldn't have imagined those are like specific details. You know?
Okay.
Or one thing I always look for, like especially later in life, my one thing to look for is someone who actually cared about me and respected me and loved me for who I am. Not just, girls, they love the lifestyle, they love what a man can give them, they love all this other stuff. I wanted a person who just enjoyed being with me, who respected and loved me for the person that I am. And not just everything around me,
Yeah, I think dating in Europe is better for that. Because
depends. Like, you look at some Russian women, they're very cold, materialistic. You can get all sorts. And now because the world has become, people are spread out everywhere, bits of the Western cultures have gone everywhere. The materialistic culture is everywhere around the world. Everyone just was climbing up and, grabbing towards money. And it really depends on how you've been raised. And what if you really know yourself and what you want. And that's the other thing. I like having conversations, meaningful ones, and I can talk about my deepest thoughts. And so I needed someone else who's also can think like that. And you have self-reflected as well. So if you hadn't self-reflected, you're not a good conversationalist. Those things I kind of knew that I wouldn't be able to be with someone if they didn't have that.
Yeah, I just want to go back to, I do think that whole American mindset of wanting so much, that's more American, I feel like. Because I feel like in Holland, the women are pretty independent, but they work well together with men. And also in Holland, I actually looked this up yesterday because I was looking for some information for next year for teaching. That a lot of people work part-time in Holland as well. And I feel like the women, they're more fair. Like, they also work and they work together more in their relationships. So I do feel like that whole thing of the woman wanting the man to make all the money and buy everything, and she wants him to spend this much money on her, that's more, maybe even a little bit of taboo in Holland. It's kind of weird because the women are more independent in a good way. They're more fair. They would think that's stupid, I think.
Yeah, or publicly embarrassing.
Yeah, or just spoiled and entitled, and because they can work as well.
But that's what I mean. Like, you're publicly embarrassed, or it's something not to be proud of.
Yeah.
I feel like in the West, the stuff that we used to be embarrassed about yesterday are the things we're encouraged to be proud of today. Like a man wearing a dress, or a woman acting unfeminine. We're supposed to be proud of that and push women towards that. Get rid of their femininity and push towards being rough or not even masculine, because they're not being masculine. They're just kind of being something else. And I feel like in those countries that have history and tradition, like in a lot of European countries, there's a history, a culture, an upbringing and everything that's like, you act respectable because you're worried about how other people see you in a nice way. You want people to treat you well, you treat them well. But if you really want to be odd and weird, you're going to do it intentionally. If you're going to dress in a weird way and be a very particular way, you're not going to fit in that culture in, say, in Holland or in Europe somewhere. You're going to have to move out of the city or go to another country. And I think that's good. I don't necessarily like the West where we're so liberal to the point of being ridiculous. But anyway, getting off topic.
Yeah. Boffin says Nordic.
Is it? That's the word.
But that's but isn't that the Scandinavian countries? Those are the Nordic countries? I don't think Holland is a Nordic country, but we can look it up.
Okay, Nordic countries.
Maybe I'm wrong, but Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland, and Greenland. Yeah, those are the Nordic countries.
Let's go Scandinavia.
And then Scandinavian, there's like one that's not a part of it. Maybe Finland or something. Scandinavia most commonly refers to Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. It can sometimes also refer to the Scandinavian peninsula, which excludes Denmark. Why isn't Finland considered Scandinavian?
Well, yeah. I think it's higher north, isn't it?
Finnish is not a Scandinavian language, and Finns are distinct from Scandinavians. Ah, okay.
The Netherlands Scandinavian.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, but maybe it'll give it a...
No, it's not a part of Scandinavian countries. It's a part of the Benelux region.
What? Never heard of it.
Sometimes called the Low Countries, which also includes Belgium and Luxembourg. No, I've never heard of that either. Benelux region.
It's probably pronounced Benelux.
Benelux, and we would pronounce it like that.
What region... Sorry, guys. Region does the Netherlands belong to?
Western Europe is a part of the Low Countries region, which also includes Belgium and Luxembourg.
Yeah, Benelux.
Also a part of the Benelux. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce Benelux.
Your country's so confusing. You're Dutch, the country is the Netherlands, and you live in Holland.
No, Holland is a part of the Netherlands.
But everyone just refers to it as I live in Holland.
Yeah. The Netherlands is the whole country, and then Holland is only... I looked it up yesterday because I was researching for teaching Dutch next year. I think it's Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Den Haag. I think it's only 3 big cities that are Holland in the Netherlands.
Amsterdam, Rotterdam,
and Den Haag.
Eindhoven is the third one.
No, I don't think so. Can you Google it? Because I looked it up yesterday. So what
Holland
cities...
has less American influence.
Oh, for sure. Less American influence than in America, obviously, yeah. I would say Amsterdam is probably the most open-minded, has the most American influence.
Yeah, to me, Amsterdam doesn't seem like the Netherlands to me.
Oh, no, that's not what you should ask. You should ask what cities are in Holland.
Ah.
Yeah, Rotterdam.
Utrecht.
No,
Yeah.
it's not all of them.
See? The Hague.
No, but yesterday I got a different... Can I type?
Go for it, babe.
My control freakiness is coming. Okay.
Edwin Mikesel. You
What
guys are a
cities?
great couple.
Oh, thank you.
Holland.
Oh, oops.
That's your Dutch coming in.
Holland.
Double A.
The cities of Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague are located in the Holland region of the Netherlands. See?
Click on show more.
Because I looked it up yesterday. It's only those 3 cities
Actually,
that
yeah.
are Holland.
You know what we should do? Is browser. Where is it? There we go. They can see what you see. Oh, actually, they can't see all of it.
Oh, can't you move it? Or
Yeah. Then it will stuff up everything else.
that's okay.
But anyway.
Well, anyways, so Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague are located in Holland. So yeah, Holland is only those 3 big cities, but I usually call the Netherlands Holland because the Netherlands is such a bitch to pronounce. It's really a tongue twister. If you guys had never met, we'd all be lonelier on Thursday, Friday. Aw, that's cute. If you ever come to Ohio, drinks are on me. Deal.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind going to the States in the future. We want to go to a lot of the places between the US and Canada, like along that coast.
Like Montana. I think Texas would be cool also.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Yeah. And we're staying away from California, New York, and all that shit. But, yeah, because sometimes you watch those... Well, sometimes I watch, like, van life videos, you know? And, like, when they drive through all those states and stuff, it's really beautiful. They've got so much nature there.
All right. So...
Back to the topic.
Back to the topic. Back to this topic. What if we'd never met? I don't think... I've talked about this a bit where... Would I have gotten bitter? I think I would have just... Because I think I was over it when I met you. I was over dating, and even my content for a few years then was going in a direction that was... I just want to enjoy life. I don't want to argue. I don't care about debating the government's women and why do women do... Like, I really don't care what they do. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I'll only deal with women and other people who are decent and mature and civilized.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
And even today, I've just lost patience. I don't want to have anything to do with even stupid people, uncivilized people from other countries that don't fit in, and we have to show these people sympathy, and this person murdered someone, we have to rehabilitate. Like, I don't care. I just don't have time to waste on the slowest kid in class. I just want to live my life. I want to have good friends. You know? So I was already done. So I was just going to become probably a less accommodating person. And I was just going to live my simple life.
Do you think you still would have dated here and there?
It would have required more effort from me. And like you, someone would have come into my life. I stopped pursuing relationships for a while before I met you. So it would have been more accidental, or every now and then if I just decide just for like a fun or something, you know, taking a break and dating and meeting a few people, but I was no longer on the treadmill of dating to find somebody.
Yeah. So for me, it was, is there jenever?
What's that?
Jenever, that's some kind of liquor that old people usually drink. Or at least that's what I used to, because I used to work at a golf club in the restaurant in Holland. And a lot of older people come play golf, you know, and I would always pour them like port, jenever, I forget all the names, but like there were certain drinks that old people always like to drink.
Oh, like gin.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that it's an old people's drink? Brandy.
Brandy, yeah.
Yeah.
That just made me think of that. But yeah, so for me in my life, because when we started talking, I was 34.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was 49. I was almost 50.
Yeah. I'm almost 38. Monday is my birthday, and we're gonna go to McDonald's for my birthday, of course. It's a
tradition.
Oh yeah, it should be a tradition.
Pretty much is. I think last year you got me to take you to McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
You're such a ball breaker, McDonald's. the things I do for you, babe.
Well, I could. Sometimes I'm like, when I want a burger, I'm like, well, be happy that I'm not asking for diamond rings and all that bullshit. I just want a burger. Briefly,
Yeah, you would actually, I think you would get annoyed if, when we got married, when I gave you an engagement ring, if I said it costs like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 or something. If I, you would have got like really annoyed at me.
We said that in another stream, remember? And then I said, if you got a $20,000 diamond ring or whatever, I would make you sell it, and then we would do other stuff with that money. Yeah, remember? I said that. That's ridiculous.
I think there would still be these T-shirts. Someone said, if you had never met, would there be It's Good to Be Bob T-shirts? Yeah. I was happy being me.
Briefly lived in Haarlem, Noord-Holland, 7 jaar geleden, 7 years ago. Was there with work, would move back in a heartbeat. Yeah, Holland is a really nice country to live in. It's too bad that it's really gotten expensive now, but it is a really nice country.
Everyone's got expensive, pretty much.
Yeah,
but yeah, Holland, it seems like there's been a lot of pressure economically from around the world to put pressure on Holland. I think it's because Holland produces a lot of, they're the second biggest producer in the world of meat. The US is the first. And they're the biggest producer of vegetables and fruit.
And the biggest exporter of flowers.
Yeah, but of fruit and vegetables as well in all of Europe. So, and I think it's economic pressure. The rest of the world doesn't want Holland to be too independent, and they want to force them to be like everyone else around the world. So, anyway,
yeah, I don't know. Diamond ring is lots of Big Macs. Yes. I would rather eat than wear stupid stuff. Wooden shoes. What's up with that?
Yeah, I saw a couple of windmills, but I didn't really... no one wears wooden shoes.
No, that's more like a tourist thing. You know, like we sell those as for tourists.
And if there's a festival, people will put them on just like for a joke.
Yeah, but like back in the day, we would probably wear those like at farms and stuff. Maybe, probably, because it comes from somewhere. But nowadays, we don't wear them anymore,
to keep your feet clean.
Yeah, but that's like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hello.
But but also, I want to say that speculation about where you'd be, you never really know. I never knew where I'd be 5 years ago to now. I didn't know 5 years before I moved out of home that I would have moved out of home. I didn't know 5 years after moving here into my home that I would still be here and where my life was and who I'd be with, you know?
Yeah, okay, but I think we're talking about the point like before we met, like at that point, that stationary point.
Yeah.
If we hadn't met, where could our lives have gone then? Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's even harder. Look, I can guess, but not really. It's fun, but not seriously.
But didn't you already say it would probably be the same?
Probably, but that's just based on the experience of where I was, what I decided, and what my life has been, because my life has consistently been the same. The only thing I stopped doing was dating and paying attention to that, and I just focused on the simplicity of my life here. And that's it. But who knows what could have happened, and if I would have, I don't know, maybe moved out sooner, or maybe I would have met someone or left my... Who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of things. But most likely, if I look at my life and my history, I would have just continued what I was doing. But what I want to say is, like, you can never tell with 100% accuracy.
No, of course not. That's why we're speculating.
If someone a week before I'd met you would say I would be where I would be in my life a year from then, I would have laughed. There's no way. I'm going to go on a plane during the bug where it's the most dangerous and risky, and I hate flying, and I have no interest. Like,
Yeah, but what if someone had said, like, in a few years you're gonna be married to a Dutch woman and she's gonna live here with you?
I wouldn't have believed. No, because I at that point didn't see, I was very neutral on marriage. Again, I don't take the future too seriously. I trust in where I am now, and that where I am is just going to continue. Today's going to be like tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be like today. So just keep it. And if something comes across your path, you assess it and you decide, okay, this is better or this is what I want to do. So for instance, our future, mine's always going to be like whatever comes into our life, a stage, we make a choice. Hey, you feel like doing this? We discuss it, and if we do, we do it.
Yeah, that's for everyone. But that's not speculating. And if you like, speculating is thinking, okay, how could my life have gone?
Would have just stayed the same. Like you said, you always had an idea that you would have moved to another country, that you probably would want to, you would be with a foreigner. You know, you had these thoughts that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I didn't have any possibilities. This is my life. I have no possibilities in my head, but I'm always open to what comes before me. It's weird.
Okay. Yeah, so I think before I met you, when I was 34, I was living in Holland. I had a full-time job as a teacher. And I was single. I'd broken up a few months earlier.
Was I a rebound?
And yes, babe, you're my rebound that I'm still with after 4 years and got married and moved to the other side of the world for. There was a little bit of sarcasm. But yeah.
Just to the other Dutch people out there who don't understand what sarcasm is.
I know, I always explain what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I ruined the joke. But anyway, I think my life could have gone like many different directions actually, like as opposed to you. I think before I met you, I wasn't completely happy with my teaching job. And I think it was because I just wanted to teach and they wanted to give me all these other roles as well, which I wasn't interested in. And that kind of annoyed me. So I think my life could have gone different ways. I don't think I would have stayed there for many more years, probably. But basically, I could have stayed in Holland the rest of my life. And maybe I would have found another relationship. Maybe I would have found someone else who I really fell in love with and had gotten married to. I would have never had children, that's for sure. Maybe I would have just been single for the rest of my life and just dated here and there because I love being on my own. So I would have just gotten my own apartment or something. But what I think is the most probable direction I would have gone in is I think I would have moved abroad. Because about a year after I moved here, my parents who lived in Holland actually moved to Spain. So I think that if I was still living in Holland and then I would see my parents move to Spain, and now my sister is actually also going to move to Spain with her husband, I would have definitely probably want to move abroad as well. Not necessarily to Spain, but maybe to Bonaire, like a Caribbean island, because I'm half Aruban. So we used to live in Aruba for 5 years. And Bonaire, because there are a lot of Dutch people there. And I love the weather. I love the tropical weather. So I think that I would have probably ended up in Bonaire, like somewhere abroad, probably. I think.
I will say I've been thinking while you're talking about how my life might have gone. Insofar as my lifestyle, it wouldn't really change, I don't think, in speculating. But I could see myself doing things like hobbies, like writing another book, where my YouTube channel would go, making more YouTube channels, filling up my time with like my life. When I gave up dating, I had much more free time and I was just focusing on kind of in the minimal enjoyable aspects of my life and really being grateful for them and focusing on them. So I think in my life, I would have done a lot of things like personal projects, maybe traveled on my own here and there, photography, taking my camera, videoed, drawing, art, creativity. So that I could see myself doing more of and doing more things like that. But in terms of my social relational life, it would have been just stable. it wouldn't have really changed.
Because that's the nice thing when you're not in bad relationships anymore, I guess. You can have all that freedom to work on all those projects. And like that's the good thing about either being single or being with someone who you're really compatible with, because we can obviously do those things. We are very creative.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's just kind of struggling against it's very easy to procrastinate and be lazy with your goals and hobbies because I can just lean on you and we can hang out, we watch a movie, and that's the thing. It's a nice problem to have. Whereas I remember when I'm on my own, I can't just sit around doing nothing. I have to do something. So I'm out, I'm on a jog, I'm on a hike, I'm filming, I'm writing, I'm always active mentally and physically. But because you're here, I can relax a bit, and it's hard to do I want to go for a run? It's just easier to lie on the couch with Stephanie, and talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Steph, what did you find least attractive about Dutch men? Oh, there wasn't anything in particular. I think it's just that.
But you always said that, didn't you just say, sorry to interrupt, didn't you just say you always saw yourself with a foreign man? And you've told me that with Dutch men, they're fine, but they never...
Oh, that's about personality.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm talking about, I think you're talking about looks. So if I'm talking about looks, then I would say there isn't anything in particular that's not attractive about Dutch men. It's just with every ethnicity, there are beautiful people and ugly people, right? So that's kind of the same with Dutch people. I will say that I find Dutch people in general pretty attractive, especially girls and women can be very attractive, but also men. But yeah, nothing in particular. In terms of personality, I wouldn't say it's not attractive, but the only thing that I do notice is that sometimes the talking is a little bit limited, but that may be just me. I think that might be because I'm half Aruban, so I've got that foreignness in me as well.
I think the directness of Dutch people is their conversations are very analytical and to the point, and you don't have a lot of the sort of the color around. You guys want to get to the point. You're direct, and
which I also really appreciate. But I think it's not a bad thing at all. What I'm saying now, it's just that sometimes when people are, those types of people that just love to talk about all sorts of different topics and get into it and all that stuff like we do, and then you've got people who are more to the point and they don't really go off. I think
unlike me.
Yeah, and I think a good example is my parents, actually, because my mom, she loves talking about all sorts of stuff like aliens and conspiracy theories and all that kinds of stuff. And we can talk about any topic for hours. But my dad is Dutch and my mom is Aruban. My dad is very down to earth, very direct, very analytical, like you said. So my mom and my dad, they don't have all those conversations that my mom necessarily would have with me or my sister, So that's just a difference between how people talk. And not that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that I would rather be in a relationship with someone who I can talk to about all those things, because I love talking and because I write, I have a big fantasy world. I love talking about different topics and,
There's a proper way of being to be a Dutch person. They're very formal, polite. There's a proper way of being. And I think you enjoy someone who's a bit, who can kind of be improper at times when you can be, and you can explore different conversations. I think with Dutch men, they're kind of a bit more, like in any society, the men tend to be the more proper, responsible ones more than women. And especially in Holland, I think men have probably got that.
But also, I'm not very social, and so I'm not a good example to be making generalizations. So that's just in my experience. I've just always noticed that with foreign men, I'm able to talk better and more. So that's the only thing I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. I've said this before, where when you give your opinion, I always assume that whoever I'm listening to in videos, that's their opinion. And so when people go, oh, this is just my opinion, it's like, yeah, no shit.
No, but I'm saying it because I'm answering a question about Dutch men, that's a huge population. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, in your eyes, like, you know.
Yeah, but even if I say something about Dutch men, I want to say that's just in my experience, because it might not be true at all. Like,
yeah, because you're
objectively.
not the typical Dutch
Yeah, because I'm not
woman.
very social and yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I was talking about myself as a typical Australian guy, I would be into football, drinking, family, 2.5 kids, motorcycles.
Yeah. But I do also just want to say that direct, down-to-earth quality that Dutch men have is really good. Because, I don't know, they're very good at taking care of households and... not households, like the house and the family and stuff. I feel like they're very, like, dependable and they're good, Dutch men. I feel like they have a strong foundation.
What I really liked about going to Holland when I met you is everyone felt like they had manners. I felt like manners were everywhere. In families, in stores, even when people were playful and joking, there was a mature respectfulness, you know. It was nice. The streets were clean. There was a proper way of doing things. You could feel the history. They didn't let, like here, sometimes you go down the freeway and there's a stretch of freeway with just garbage and no one cleans it up. It takes like half a year before anyone cleans it up, and sometimes never. You know, it's just kind of dirty, and neighborhoods, sometimes they're not taken care of, and people don't have pride in their appearance or their yards or anything. But I felt like in Holland, everything, like most things, everywhere you looked, it looked safer, it looked cleaner. Every neighborhood, like the trees were manicured, and
I think it would be good if we could have kept living in the 80s and 90s.
Your whole country appears like a gated community.
Yeah, but it has changed a little bit now.
Yeah.
Because of parenting and because of immigration. So that's why I say if we could have just kept on living like the 90s, like that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was frozen in the 90s, I would have loved to have been frozen there.
I love the 90s. Yeah.
I was in my best physical shape in my 90s as well.
I was in my best physical shape in my late 20s. I would say. No, yeah. Mid 20s to late 20s. I was in my best shape, I think.
All right. So, this is kind of a... Let's see what some other people said. Blah-de-blah. We posted a question. Do you ever wonder how your life might have turned out differently? Obviously, we talked about our lives. You know, we were one way before we met, and our lives are different. We've been married for a few years, and it's nice to speculate. And some people left some comments. Northern Bell, Peg says, first of all, I'm glad you found each other. I would hate to think about how life may have differed had I not met my partners. I rarely ponder what might have been. If or when I do, the thoughts are building blocks added or removed in the process of constructing something together. That's actually a good way of thinking it. Something greater. Mm. That's a good way of thinking about it. Like your life is like these building blocks, and at some point you come in, I put you in there, I remove some other blocks, you know, and you keep building forward. For me, a more productive, valuable use of time, energy, and bandwidth is to focus on the what is and what it can become. Life is full of lessons, both hard and easy. Learn from each. Yeah, I'm very much a what is person as well.
You know what I think?
What do you think, babe?
I love you.
How the... What do I always say? Whenever you say something, whenever you're saying, you know what? Or you know what do you say? Like, guess what? Or you know what? And I always say, how the...
Yeah.
Guess what? Anyway.
I think that if your life now sucks, then you're probably more prone to speculate about things you regret, things you would have done differently, how your life would have turned out.
Yes.
If your life is really good now, then you probably have the mindset of, there's no use in, I wouldn't change anything because then I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's probably, yeah.
That's actually a great point, because I'm thinking of all the people that bitch, moan, and complain online about the government and this and women and this and the past and bring back the past and, you know, all this. It's like you don't like your life. You're complaining. But if you're not complaining as much and you want to deal with the present, you actually like the present and you want to clean up the present and you want to take care of the present. But if you really don't like the present, or you're too lazy to take care of the present, or you have nothing going on, no interest, then of course your mind's going to be attached to the past and the future.
Yeah, because like I've had a pretty good life, but of course there are a few things that weren't good or nice. But I wouldn't change anything because then we wouldn't be here now. So, but if my life would suck now, then I would be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. You know.
Do you want to read the next comment, babe?
It's like the movie Sliding Doors. I've never seen that movie, have I? I don't know. Who's in it?
Gwyneth Paltrow. And the reason I'm putting the Perfume Chick.
Do you guys know what he means? It's gross. Look it up.
Isaminyaki Blue, if anyone's interested. Karu's interested. Anyway.
Yeah. With decisions, you generally make decisions based on what you know at that point in time, and hopefully listening to your gut instincts as well. If something is not meant for you, then it's not meant for you long term. I move on from it.
Yep. And a lot of I've done this as well. I think most people have been there. You really like the person, you want them, but they don't fit. And it's frustrating. You say something, they don't get you. You can't be on the same page. They want to go left, you want to go right. And you're always compromising, and they feel like they're compromising. You know?
Oh, that must be so hard when you actually meet someone who like you feel like could be the one, but there's just some things that you just can't agree on. Like, and neither one of you feels like it's fair and you don't want to budge. Yep. And you can't get to a fair compromise. That must be so sad.
That's the story of my life, babe. Yeah, it was before I met you. It was like a couple of girls, like they were really nice, but it was really big things that was like, if they didn't have that, it'd be fine. But that was a big part of the personality.
But did you also feel like they were the one? Like, did you feel about them? That's what I mean.
No.
But if you really, like if you met me, but then...
I knew you were different, right? Whereas with them, it's almost like your imagination. I find them attractive and they have a sense of humor and I like being with them. But there's so many moments where I can only go so far with them and I don't feel any more. And I'm always waiting to feel just cross the line.
Yeah, but with them, it's kind of to be expected. But I'm talking more so about like if you meet like the one. Like if you had met me, but we had something that we just couldn't agree on. But we wanted to be together, but we just couldn't get to a compromise. That's what I mean.
But that's almost a moot point, because before I met you, like when you meet someone that's made for you, that's not made for you, but compatible for you, you pretty much, you stop looking, you know? So it's like, it's a irrelevant point. But until then, it's always like, what am I doing wrong? Everything is great on paper. Why do I keep having the same problems with this person that I have with other people?
Why is what an irrelevant point?
When we meet each other, then it's kind of like, okay, now I know what a compatible person is. Now, because I knew you were for me. But until I meet someone for you, all I've got is my history of girls. It's like, I just can't do it right. Everything's great on paper. We like each other, but it's just not working and you don't know why. But then you meet someone, it's like, oh, this works easily. Yeah.
But what I mean is, so what I was saying is, what if you meet someone who you feel is the one, but then you've got this one thing that you just can't compromise on?
But you will. If you're compatible, you do. That's the point. That if you meet a person that's for you and you both realize it and you communicate, you'll work through it. But
what if...
Here we go.
Everything's the same with us, right?
Right.
But you're religious. Or you really want to have a kid. That would be something. Well, no, wait. You're religious and you want me to be religious as well.
Well, I would say if you really find someone who's compatible, you'll be the most flexible with them. Like if they really want something that's very important to them, you will be like with us. There's been things that normally you wouldn't have done for other guys, but for me, you become flexible and then you've learned to accommodate me.
No, I have the best example. What if you were super social and you wanted me to join in everything? And even though I love you and I want to try, I just can't because it's not me.
Yeah, but then we'd meet part way. I wouldn't expect you to be social all the time, but you meet me like now, kind of. You meet when you're with the right person. You kind of meet in the middle somewhere.
See, I'm trying to crack us, and you just can't crack us. We would find some way to compromise, probably.
Yeah, I think when I just look at the difference between you've had generally good relationships, but you couldn't go any further. I had good and bad, but all of them. There's so many of them. I couldn't even bring myself to say I love you to the girls I was with. Everything was great, but I knew in myself, like, I don't feel this yet. I don't feel the words that they're waiting for me to say. I don't feel like moving in with you. I feel like I need some time away from you. Like we spend time. Now I want to go home and do my projects. It's very different. It's still very separate, and I knew it needed to be more together. I knew what the words meant. I saw my parents' relationships. I saw too many people that were in love, and this wasn't it. And I didn't feel compatible with the person. And I can't lie to myself because this is the rest of my life. I'm risking my life for this. It's not paranoia. It's like, this isn't real. I might want it to be real. I can say the words and bullshit myself, but I can't. I can't lie about a girl I find attractive and she's nice, but I feel like she's relatively disconnected from me. Sorry.
But see, that's what if I was with someone and I was like, I can't get myself to say I love you, then that would be a problem.
Yeah, you wait. You don't say it straight away, but after enough time goes and the honeymoon period's over and you realize what you are, you've settled into life and you realize we're repeating every month over and over again and it's never moving and we're never closer. I still can't say I love you. And then after a while, then you realize and you start to fight, then it goes downhill. And that's when I go, yeah, we're not.
Yeah, I've never had that problem.
You're quicker than I am.
Not being able to say I love you. Yeah, but I think it's also because, for example, if he was saying it to me and I wasn't in a place where I felt like I could say it, then that would be weird. Like, I probably wouldn't even be in that situation or something. Oh, yeah, Buffin. So, yeah, I described both. So, yeah.
At 61, I think I'm off that dating treadmill like you would have been. Yeah.
Well, you guys, you can keep going until 70 plus because I saw The Golden Bachelor and he got married recently.
Yeah, I couldn't see myself in that position. One, I'd never go on TV or reality TV show. And two, being that, like, I looked at their passion for being with someone and it's like, I didn't have that.
No, but it's so sweet. I really liked watching it. It's a lot more genuine than the other Bachelor shows with the younger people. Like The Golden Bachelor and The Golden Bachelorette. I watched both of them recently.
They can construct sentences a lot better than the young.
Yeah, but they're also a lot more genuine and nice, and there's no backstabbing and there's less drama.
Yeah.
They just want to find someone.
I can't watch the young shows you watch, the dating shows.
I like watching the drama. It's funny.
I can't listen to them, babe. Like, like whatever, like fire.
Fire.
Don't start saying that.
It's fire. I say that about food sometimes when we've got like really good donuts. Oh, babe, these donuts are fire.
Yeah, because it irritates me.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny.
Do you like McDonald's fries, Steph?
Yeah. When they're good, but I like them when they're salty. They need to put on salt.
Look at the hard-hitting discussions we're having.
But I love the Big Mac a lot more. The Big Mac's the best.
Oh, sorry, I should have put these up.
But yeah, they're good. Big Mac fries. McDonald's fries are good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the quality's dropped.
It has though. Yeah. I do feel like it has. Sometimes they're really good when they're like crunchy and soft on the inside, and then they're very salty.
You know what I used to love to do? I told you this, but other people. McDonald's. We've got a 24-hour McDonald's. Maybe 5-minute drive from our place, and I put oven fries in the oven, and then it takes them like 15 minutes to cook. And as soon as I put them in the oven, I drive to McDonald's, get myself 5 junior burgers, come back, and then I've got proper fries.
Yeah.
And then burgers.
Yeah, we've done that together. Yeah.
Jack in the Box. We don't have that here.
What's that?
That's another American franchise, like Taco Bell and In-N-Out Burger and things like that.
I just wish we had Wendy's here, because I know Wendy's from when I lived in Aruba, and they have those Frosties. You guys may know Wendy's. I wish we had it here.
We had them when I was growing up. You missed out. They started closing down a few years ago.
I wasn't born yet, babe, when you were...
Pretty much. Your birth destroyed them.
I was born when you were like almost 15.
Yeah.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
That's when I was born.
Yeah. You're a little kid. A little toddler.
We have to finish these.
Okay. Did you read Melaniko's?
Yes. So now this one.
On screen eyes. You can read that one.
I think it's difficult to say how one's life could have developed differently, because making decisions depends on unpredictable factors. We only recognize conclusions in hindsight. Yeah. And it is only through reflection that we have the opportunity to make better decisions later, thanks to our experiences. Thoughts of this kind regarding relationships exist not only in hindsight, but also in the present. That's a good comment. Oh, sometimes I wonder how a relationship turns out if we would be open and honest at 100% without limits. For example, when it comes to things from the past that put us in a bad light, I dare to say that we all have secrets. What things or secrets from the past are better left untold to a partner in order not to jeopardize the relationship? Are such secrets permissible? And would you allow your partner to keep or have their secrets from the past? Maybe that could be a topic for a following live stream. Which secrets are okay in a relationship? Ooh.
I was actually going to say this when you started talking about secrets, and obviously it's better not to say a few things. I disagree. I knew when I met you, like, you were really great for me, and this was so real that I didn't want to jeopardize it by starting to, like, I'll keep this from her, I won't say this. She doesn't need to know this. I was counterintuitively, if you want, but I was like, no, I'm going to tell her everything. I'm going to tell her everything about, like, my complaining, my fears, my, like, just everything. I'm just going to let it out. And generally I like to talk, so it's it, but I knew that this is great, and I want it to be 100% real, which means I'm not going to leave anything uncovered. She's going to know everything about me. Mm-hmm. And then you can live freely, rather than, like, imagine you've got these secrets that they may never come out, but if they do, then your partner's going to always have a sore spot, a little bruise that, you know, I don't want to... I want this always to be free and clear and not avoid certain topics and things like that.
Yeah. It is an interesting one. Yeah, we might do a live stream on that one. Yeah.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that in a live stream. Yeah, good comment. And then Prince Revolver, last one. I know you don't take requests, but would you mind if I sent you a request on Instagram for you and Steph? Yeah, we talked about this. We actually don't have an Instagram together, but we might make one.
Yeah.
For Bob and Steph.
Yeah, and then we'll link it on our channel. Then anyone who wants to can...
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, obviously on YouTube, we're not going to post pictures and stuff, but it might be nice to have an account where we can just post pictures of stuff we do or whatever.
Or like also with the streams, just post questions and people can... That could be a place where people, if they... Because a lot of people, I don't think, go to the community tab on YouTube. They just click on videos. People don't use YouTube to interact socially. They might comment, but they don't go into the tabs and all the what are they, the polls and all of that sort of stuff. Whereas on Instagram, everyone's used to picture, comments, picture, comments, picture, comments. And so maybe there we'll post questions as well. So as well as posting this here, we'll post the same thing over there and some photos of us as well. So this and extra, so we can use it more as a more lighthearted social thing.
Yeah. So we'll create a channel this weekend. We'll do it this weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll post a link. You guys can see. You guys can see me eating a Big Mac. I don't think we have Costco in Holland. That's like an American store, isn't it?
Yeah. Your main stores are very Dutch. You've got Albertijn,
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
We have Aldi also.
Albertijn I saw the most. That's the biggest supermarket chain. And then the second is Jumbo.
Yeah. I don't think we have Costco. I think that's an American thing.
Soon you probably will, because America and the rest of the world economically they're squeezing Holland, raising prices. And soon it's going to be like, well, we won't squeeze you on prices so much if you allow us to put Costco's in your country. And then you won't be taxed so much. Then your food costs will come down, Holland. They'll do it. You watch.
Well, hopefully not.
They will.
Oh, he's talking to her. They're really good. Maybe not for you if partaken.
They're talking about Frosties.
Oh, how could I have skipped that?
Yeah.
Yes, I love them. In Aruba, I used to get the chocolate one often. And then you let it melt a little bit, right? And then you can eat it with a spoon and you drink it, you know. Oh,
you talk about food like I
so
talk
good.
about microphones and cameras. And
I talk about food like men talk about orgasms or something. I love food.
Have you got a tattoo, Food is Life or something?
No, I should have. I should do that. I should tattoo that on me.
All right. Anyone have any further comments regarding this topic? It's more this topic really about do you wonder how your life might have turned out differently if you at a certain point in your life took an opportunity and now you think, I should have taken that, or why'd I break up with them? Because you can regret not taking an opportunity and you're in the same place as you were and you wish you would have taken it, or you wish you didn't let go of an opportunity and now you don't like your life and you wish you still would have stayed where you were. You
know what would be cool? If you could have a do-over with certain moments in your life, but in a vacuum. Like, for example,
for only a period of time.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect the future. So you just want to go back to, for example, the year 2000 to 2002, and you want to do over those 2 years. But then when it's done, you just go back to now. Because else you're going to change your whole future, and you don't want that.
Yeah, but then everyone, like my brain just goes psychopathically. You just go back then and you just like you're a maniac. Because you know at the end of the 2 years, like it doesn't matter and you go to the present, you know?
Yeah, but you always go to
for 2 years.
You always go to like psychotic people who have like bad intentions. I'm talking about people who just want to enjoy and have a do-over in like a positive way.
I know, my brain is like,
yeah.
When the clock's coming, you know, like say you've got one year to do over, you can do whatever you want, and then it's almost like you get what's that movie, the Tomorrow War, where you've got a countdown. And at a certain time, you go back.
Yeah.
You go back to your normal time. So I would like, as it's counting down, if I've got a few hours, I just go around the street and punching people in the face.
But it's interesting, though, because I'm thinking like, oh, what would I do if I could have a do-over? And what would I do better? And what would I enjoy more? And you're just like, what can I steal? Who can I assault? What can I...
I'm going to supermarkets, grabbing like ice cream out of the fridge and throwing it at women's faces. And
no, man. No, I wish I could do over the 5 years that I lived in Aruba. Because I was struggling with some things at that time also. I also had a lot of fun, but if I could have a do-over, I would just enjoy those 5 years completely. Because it's such a nice island.
Everyone would do that. You go back with your brain now. You would make the most of it. I know I'd appreciate everything much more because you've noticed me now. I appreciate our marriage every day, like talking to you, our relationship much more than in the past. my brain moved too fast and I didn't even notice the moments I was in. Whereas if I could go back, I would absorb them like a sponge and really appreciate every day of them much more than I did when I was back there.
Yeah, you need to go back with your brain now. That's why I always say I don't think we live long enough, because it's only like from your 30s upwards, especially in your 40s and 50s, where you really know who you are, you really appreciate life, you care less about what people think and bullshit and everything. And then it's like you only have a few more decades, you know. I think we should live longer so we can enjoy that mindset more, you know.
We've spoken about this. I think human nature, you get people to live longer as they are now, they get lazier and they're complacent right until the end. People, it's like the way people do exams. They don't study, they cram right at the end and they get very desperate. And a lot of people, you extend their life, they will waste a lot of time and right at the end they'll try and live as much as they can. Is that confusing?
No, I get it, but I don't like when I think something is going to happen in a way, and then you come up with something smart, and then it messes up what I thought was going to happen. And then
in a perfect world, that's why people come up with theories. But if you have to add human nature, how would people typically act? It would be nice how people should act. You and I is like we get annoyed at how rude people are, how they're not fair, they're not polite. They should be acting differently, but they don't. Have a look around the world. How do people naturally respond when you give them things or when you push certain buttons? When you give them complete freedom, they act like toddlers.
Yeah. To flip the script a bit, now that you have met, what happened in your lives that you had never imagined would? I wouldn't say there's anything I'm surprised about. Like, I'm not surprised I moved abroad or I'm with a foreigner. I'm not surprised that I got married. I knew that was always like a possibility for me. I always knew I was going to be a teacher. I'm not surprised that we don't have kids. So, there's nothing that I'm surprised about. What about you?
I'm probably surprised that you don't have a lot of little aggravating things that women tend to have, like complaining, and like you're very relaxed. You don't complain. A lot of things you don't have that I just expected, you know, that it comes with a woman. Even the woman you end up with is going to have this, and you just got to live with it. And you just haven't got, I was very surprised. I never imagined you would not have the complaining chip. And a few other things as well that are just the things that make my life just very, very comfortable and very easy. Even things like I mentioned before, you actually like the person I am. You like hanging out with me. You like my personality. You like me as a friend, as a partner. You respect me. And a lot of those things, you get older. Like I got to nearly 50 and it's like, you know, I'm being naive. Like the women I see, like it's almost impossible. If there are women out there, I just haven't got time to waste anymore. And it's just, I didn't think you wouldn't have a lot of the negative things that typically almost all women come with, you know?
Oh God, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice, yeah.
And some of them you think, it's almost like a virus or a bug in software. Like so many women would have an easier time if they just weren't annoyed and aggravated and didn't wreck situations and weren't emotional and be nicer. Just be nice. You know, just be nicer. I can't help myself. That's the way I am. Women are, it's like, just try, because you can in front of your boss. You can when you go to church. You can when you in front of other people. You can shut your mouth and you can act a little bit proper. Act a little bit proper in front of people your own age. And when you go on dates, act up yourself. Don't just kind of let it all out and be obnoxious. It's almost like if I can be as big a child as possible and this person still loves me, then I can feel safe around them. Yeah.
But I don't know about other women, but I find that annoying also that we are like very emotional. It's annoying because sometimes I get in my head or I have a bit of a freak out about something or, you know, it's like emotions are really annoying sometimes. Like I wish we were more calm like you guys.
I think everyone gets annoyed with themselves when they freak out or they get emotional. But I think with women today, especially, they encourage you to be as emotional as you want to be, express yourself. Nothing's ever your fault. Whereas with guys, we're still supposed to, yeah, we have emotions, but deal with them. And it's not proper to feed off your emotions in public. You should be mature about them and deal with them in some way. Whereas with women, it's the opposite. It's even encouraged. And then no matter how much you emote, the consequences are never your fault anyway, because you're a queen, like you're perfect, you know? So
but
I think it's harder for women today.
Yeah, it's also really off-putting when women are very emotional. Like even when I'm very emotional about something, I don't like it. Because I think it's always best to come from a calm place, wait until you calm down, and then have a conversation, or then address the problem.
You're at least self-reflective, right? Because the thing I would say to people when they go, I'm just this way, I can't help it. And I would say, well, if you were dating yourself, would you be able to tolerate being around you? Most people's like, oh, no, not really. And when I hear people in wedding speeches, like, and it's typically the woman says, oh, I was crazy in this and this. And I married Joe here. And I love that he's the exact opposite to me. He's so calm and he keeps me in line and he keeps me in my place and I can be a bit wild. It's like, it's not another person's job to be the mature one in the relationship and you're the child that gets to do whatever you want. You know, I don't like that either.
Oh, confirmed. Steph wants a time machine. No, I want McDonald's for my birthday.
Yeah. McDonald's, you don't even need a time machine. McDonald's is forever. It's not going away.
Yeah. If you had never met, you wouldn't have tasted each other's cooking. Yeah, true. Although that's not something you would miss necessarily. Because I cook very simple. And you don't cook often for us. Sometimes I eat your pasta. But yeah.
Yeah, you cook very simple meals. If you had never met human, would you have settled for a blue-haired woman? No. I knew I couldn't, I can't settle. And with my exes, I felt like they were possibilities, but very quickly I found out, no, I can't. Even though they're nice people, I can't settle for someone where I have no depth with them. If I can't share my world completely and be completely honest, I can't settle for not being honest in my personal life. I can't. Because there's too many areas in life where I have to formalize myself. You know, you go in front of family and friends and you act a certain way. You're yourself, but you know, you don't swear in front of children. At work, you're yourself, but there's a certain way to be and dress and conduct yourself and stuff. But in my personal life, I want to be the same person as I am when I'm alone, as I am with my potential partner. And I knew that I can't settle for. It's not I don't think I have high standards. To me, it's a normal standard. You know, if I'm intimate and I like myself, I want to be intimate with somebody else like that as well, and like them and me together. So no, I know it's a joke, but no, I wouldn't have settled for a blue-haired woman, and I didn't because I stopped dating. And even when I dated, I didn't date women like that. I think once or twice I accidentally went on a date where I discovered she was a lowercase feminist because she started using the words, you know, the words online that you hear from all these chicks, and I think one of them as well didn't call herself that, but started talking about how she respected feminists, and I was like, ooh, okay.
You know, I find those male feminists really off-putting. Like, it makes them very feminine. It's like weird.
They're more feminine than the women they're supporting.
Yeah, because women want men.
Not all women.
Well, I want a man.
Well, look.
I want a manly man. I don't want a feminine man.
Guys just always... We love women, most men, and when I say most men, biologically most men are heterosexual, so that's why I say most men. And we're trying to find what works. And we listen to women, we believe them because we love them, we trust them, we want to trust them. And whatever women tell us, we do. But then you learn later on not to listen to what women say, but watch their actions and what they choose. And so women are like, oh, we want you to cry. We want you to be more feminine. We want you to be into all the things we're into. And men do all these things, and they find out they're always just in the friend zone.
Right.
They never get dates. They always see the men that women complain about are the ones that women keep picking. And you listen to these women, you become the man that she tells you she wants, and she never picks you and she never dates you. Or relationships never last. And then when it's almost like, yeah, I don't care. I just care about myself. If you want to tag along, you can. If you want to be part of my life. And then all of a sudden women want to be with you. Yeah. It's sad because if you love women, you want to believe what they say, but most of them don't know what they want. And they're not honest.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think the cliche is don't listen to what a woman says. Watch her actions. Watch what she chooses. Yeah. Whenever I remember if I went on a date, and it happened a few times where she'd tell me how I was different. Like, oh, I like you because you're A, B, and C. You're more talkative. You have views on she'll tell me what she notices about me and why she finds me interesting or refreshing. And she'll say, yeah, I'm done with the guys I used to date that were like this, this, and this. And a lot of them were like meatheads, and they drink too much, drive too fast. They're just your typical male animal. Like nothing, they like football and all that sort of. And they might be rough and maybe a bit aggressive, like a bad boy, more leaning towards an actual bad boy. Nothing respectable. And then I think, well, that's what you like, and that's what you continue to date before me, and now you're tired of it, and now you want me as like a safe place to hook up your boat to. Yeah. And it's like, I don't trust this is going to work. I'm like a holiday for you to take a break, because you're telling me about all the guys you went after, and all of them were very different to me, and now I'm safe. I don't want to be safe. I want you to be attracted to me and my lifestyle and who I am.
I wonder also if that's more an American thing, women being so attracted to bad boys.
I think it's materialistic as well, because bad boys are short term, and it's not going to last in the back of your head. But you can continue to be independent. Go after bad boys because they signify independence and power, and they don't give a F about the world or anyone else. It's very, very rebellious. And to make money, women tend to want to be rebellious and,
Or maybe then it goes hand in hand with me saying that in Holland, I think women are probably less materialistic than in America. So then that makes sense. Because I feel like in Holland, women are with like more normal men because they look for someone to settle down with. They look for someone to build a life with and to have kids with. They don't look for, because a bad boy's not going to do that. So I feel like that's maybe more of an American thing as well.
Yeah. In Western countries like America, Australia, England, less European countries. But here, you take a look at it, everything's very materialistic. Women won't go for the person and who they are. They'll go for everything around the person.
Yeah.
You look now, all the people that immigrate to America, Australia, they come and within a year they're driving a Tesla. And so that little girl grows up with her family here. My father owned a Tesla. He came in and he's at least got a Tesla or a BMW. You see people who've been here and so the kids and all the young people, no, at least the guy has to have this and a Tesla and a house and nice clothes. Whereas you expected the basics, just a nice person. You guys, if the guy's just got a bicycle, it's fine. He doesn't even have to have a car. He doesn't have to have a car. He lives in an apartment, but he's respectable and mature. Here, entry level is he's got to have a Tesla.
Yeah, the extremes are silly. I mean, if a Dutch woman wants to settle down and have a family, then she probably will want the man to have a car. But if you just want to have a relationship with someone, then it doesn't really matter that much. I feel like Dutch people look more at what makes sense for what kind of life they want to have together.
Yeah.
But like an extra car or extra stuff, that's not necessarily needed.
The environment in the West makes it, I think, very difficult as time goes on for young people, because a young guy or girl looks at their friends and their father and everyone having really expensive cars and houses and clothes and Netflix and this and that. And that's the baseline. You're not going to pick someone else where you have to take a step down. So if you get with someone, they've got to have a great job, they have a great car, they've got to have like, whereas in your country, it's like, I just meet someone and I don't know, they might have a bicycle that costs like $100 and they've got an apartment and they can buy food. It's like, you don't need much. You just care about the person. Yeah, you can survive. You can do the bare minimum to survive, but that's good enough. Here, good enough is up here.
Yeah. But in Holland, the mindset, I feel like, is more like, what do we both need to build a life together? It's not like, oh, the man needs to provide this and this and this and this. It's like, no, if you've got this and I've got this, okay, together we can build a life. It's more like we both put in effort.
Yeah, the meaningful stuff. But take a look online, the popular channels about like relationships where they've all got microphones. High value man and high value woman. It's all about great job, looks great, great car, lifestyle, all this stuff. So everyone's talking about that. And then they go, oh, by the way, I want him to treat me nice. And it's like, but generally they want you to treat each other nice. They don't talk about, well, what's compatibility? Am I an introvert or extrovert? Do they want to spend more time at home? Do they want to talk about things deeply? What do they want for the future?
But that's America.
Yeah.
That's really an American thing. I feel like in Europe, it's... because sometimes I think people have this view of, oh, women are like this and dating is like this. But that's really like an American thing, I feel like.
Yeah, if you ask these women on the American side of relationship advice, they talk to them in front of microphones like, oh, how do you see your future with a man or relationship? And they'll all talk about, well, I'll have a kid and a really nice car, we'll have a nice house and all this stuff around it. They won't talk about, I want a nice man who's like this and who treats me like this and I can talk to him. And like the personality of the person, they rarely, if ever, talk about. It's all the stuff around it, the window dressing. Whereas with you, straight away when I started talking to you, it's just about you, the person, me, how we see life. We never talked about material stuff ever.
Yeah, I think the difference with maybe Holland and America is more like when they talk about what they want. In America, it's more like what the woman wants and then what she wants the man to provide and what kind of lifestyle she wants. And in Holland, it might be, the woman might also be like, I want to get married and I want to have kids and I want to live like in this kind of house or whatever. She might also talk a little bit about material stuff, but the difference is that they're both going to put in the work. Her expectation isn't that the man is going to have to provide everything. She's also going to work, and they're both going to work towards this lifestyle. And if she has kids, then obviously he's going to, take more of the load. But then afterwards, women always work part-time again after they have kids, usually in Holland. So it's like more fair. It's not like the man is going to do everything, and that's the difference. I think Dutch people look at that and the way that women are in America, the way that they expect men to like provide for everything. I think Dutch women look at that and they find it really stupid.
Yeah, because hence the term going Dutch. Your country has a very fair view of things. Like if a woman would be very demanding, I want this, 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 and this, and I've got high standards.
Yeah.
And then if a man said, okay, then I want something similar. I want this, this, and this. And the woman would be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I've got high standards. That means you're going to require high standards from me as well. But in America, it's just one-sided. A woman demands everything and she doesn't feel like she needs to give anything.
Yeah, but that's also what I mean. And then they call themselves independent. But that's not what that is.
Yeah, independent from responsibility.
Yeah, I guess. But like Dutch women, because we are able to be very independent, but we are also fair in relationships, I feel like. Like we all put in the work. Because it's embarrassing to just be in a relationship and just demand the other person to do everything.
When we first met, I remember when you said the word, you saw yourself as independent, or Dutch people were independent. my ears pricked up because I'm used to the word independent, what it means from Western women. And I remember asking you, what do you mean by that? Like, can you describe? And then I started to know that your independence means responsible independence and fair. Like, yeah, I want to pay my bills and I'm not going to ask for more than I'm prepared to put in. And I'm not going to bitch about not having an expensive car because I don't want to work that much to get a car that I don't care about. Like, you're very independently but responsible. You're not independent and entitled. You're independent and responsible. And you know where you stop and what you're prepared to work for and how much you're prepared to give and, be fair with a man or other people,
Yeah, I think Dutch people are independent when they're single. That's the difference. Like, we're able to be independent and take care of ourselves because that's what we learn as we grow up. And that's good, I think. But then once we get into a relationship and a marriage and everything, then we work together with a man. But when American women call themselves independent, that's fine if you are actually independent and you're single, or if you're in a relationship, you keep everything separate. But if you go into a relationship and you say you're independent and then you want to keep all your salary to yourself and you want him to pay for everything, that's you being independent and a roach, basically. Like, that's not what that is. You're misusing the term.
Yeah, the West has really twisted words around and sort of said, oh, you must remain independent because you don't want to lose yourself. And so especially women, but guys as well now, they'll be like doing everything to keep up distance between them and their partner because I should be separate and independent from you. And also I don't want to lose myself. So I want to keep myself. I want to stay independent. You can never come here and embrace me fully. There's always going to be a bit of a wall between us. Yeah.
I guess you have all kinds of different relationships. Like, yeah, it is a little bit of a wall between you two, but I think you can still have a good relationship like that. Just keeping your bank account separate, for example. But yeah, that's kind of the same thing as having a good relationship, but you don't live together. Like, it's never probably going to be like a full relationship, but it could still be a good one, probably.
Yeah, independence is highly overrated.
Well, you know what I think? I think the ability to be independent is very valuable, but you need to be able to, what was the word? Be codependent? Not codependent, interdependent. Interdependent when you're in a relationship. You do need to have that ability as well. Yeah, you shouldn't stay independent like in a marriage, for example. That's silly.
Yeah, remember initially when you moved in here, you were kind of like trying to describe and hold on to your independence in a way, like the way you were, as you were getting used to being with me and living together, and me as well.
I just had to get used to it because this marriage is the most mixed that I've ever been with someone. I've been more independent in my past relationships. With you, like,
me too, yeah.
We are like the same person. Like, everything is mixed and intertwined. So, like, I don't feel independent. Like, I still have the ability to be independent, but we are completely, like...
Look, we've both got our own personalities. The difference is we're completely always open. We let out every word. We share everything. There's no secrets.
Yeah, but I mean more so, like, objectively speaking. Because, like, I don't drive. I am dependent on you to take me everywhere.
Yeah.
That's, like, And then also, we have the same bank account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my own bank account anymore here in Australia. So, and that's different. I've never had that. I've never shared my bank account with a man before. I've always been able to travel on my own with like public transport and stuff. Like all those things where I used to be very independent in Holland. Mm-hmm. I don't really do that anymore now. So that's very different for me.
But it's also the difference of not wanting to be independent.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Yeah.
It's like now when I do stuff, there's certain things I do on my own. And it's like, it's fun, but Steph, I wish I was here to talk to her or show her this, or I'll take a photo and send it to you. Or, do you like this? Do you want me to get it for you? Like, there's almost everything is better doing it with you now.
Yeah. You know what's also funny? That like now when I want it, because I almost never buy something, but I recently bought a few things online, right? I ordered a few things. And then I go and ask him, hey, babe, I want to spend like $100 because I ordered some Dutch foods for my birthday. I want to hand it out at work and stuff. And it was, it was 75. It was about $75, right? And then I go to him and I'm like, oh, babe, I want to order some stuff like to hand out at work. Is it okay if I spend like $100? And I ask him just out of respect, and I don't, because both of our incomes go into the same account, so it's also my money, you know. But I still ask you, and I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, look, me too, because I tell you about the gadgets and things I buy that even aren't part of my account. They're like from my old savings before we met, so they're not part of our account. But still, I don't want to hide anything. I want to let you know, oh, babe, I'm buying this, I'm buying that. Just letting you know this is coming out of here. Like, I don't want anything. Like, I love having decisions with you.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's kind of the same thing. Because if we had separate bank accounts, then it would be different. Then I would just buy something and not necessarily tell you. But I think
if your salary went into your account and my salary went into my account.
Yeah, but it's because we have one account. It's the same thing. But I want to ask you because it's in one account, I guess. It's like a bit different.
Yeah, but it's sharing and it's more fun because can you imagine how stupid and cringy it would be? We go shopping, right? We go shopping for groceries. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, you want to pay for this one, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Rather than we've both got the same card in the same bank account. And we like one time I lost my card or I got hacked and then we could use yours and it's just really nice to lean on each other and not have to make those to put a wall between you. Like, oh, babe, you know, you can buy your food, I'll buy my food, I'll pay for this time, you pay for that. No, you know, you do the household, I drive you places. We both. It's just so easy. And it's more traditional, but it's so easy and it makes life, you don't separate from each other. You trust each other more. You talk about everything. But the more you start putting these walls up of like, oh, well, I'm going to have everything separate. Why?
Yeah, I do feel like it is to be more traditional with those things in a marriage. It's good. I like it. Yeah. What's that? Ask him because it's nice.
Hashtag.
Joint bank account. And bank accounts are easy. Yeah. Like, I almost never look at our account because every time we go grocery shopping, he always uses his card. So, the salaries just go in, but I almost never look at it.
Yeah. I take care of everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's getting hot. You love these days. I can't stand them.
It's going to be 34 today.
I should have been born in Holland and you should have been born in Australia or some...
No, in the Caribbean.
Some hot climate.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done. Thanks everyone for showing up.
Yeah, this was fun. It was good. Hey, Karu. Did he just show up?
Yeah. Hey, Karu. Multipass. What's that?
I don't know. What's a multipass? Pass, I mean.
Is that from... The Fifth Element? Multipass.
Oh, that's what she says. Multipass.
But is that what he means?
I don't know.
That's the only time I've heard multipass.
Explain yourself, Karu.
All right.
Oh, we have to do the 5 rapid questions. Rapid fire questions.
Do we really?
Yes.
Do we really have to?
You don't want to?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just joking. All right. Do we have the next ones?
Yeah, I separated them. See?
Okay. All right.
Who's more likely to make the bed?
It's kind of like we both do it together. Like when we're talking in the morning, if we're both there, we're on one, like you're on one side and we're just talking. We're not even paying attention. We're both folding the bed and making it as we speak. You
know what I think? I think I might do it a tiny bit more often.
Yeah.
Because I'm always up earlier. And very rarely you won't make the bed when you get up.
If I don't make the bed, she makes it.
Yeah, if I see it, yeah.
But she wakes up earlier, so I wake up later. And when I wake up, I'm like, the bed's messy, and so I just fold it and make it. But in terms of changing the bed and washing and all that, you do all of that.
Yeah.
But bed's kind of like, 50-50. but not because we made it that. But I get up later, so I just quickly make the bed when I wake up. But if I don't, you make it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fifth Element. I was right.
Ah, yeah. Thank you, LIVESTREAM.
Another question: Who usually wins arguments?
Oh God. Well, I feel like you're probably a bit more agreeable than I am.
If I really wanted to, I'd probably win arguments because I'm very analytical, and like you'll emotionally want to win, but I think I could win verbally.
Oh, yeah, so you're talking more about like a debate situation.
Like skill, yeah, if I wanted to. But in terms of with us, we don't actually have arguments. It's more discussions, getting to seeing things.
Yeah, because it's not about winning when we have an argument. It's about finding like a good place in the middle.
Yeah, I think logic and fairness wins. Like one of us might be leaning towards a side or being selfish or being, one way. But when we're always talking, when there's a bit of like, hang on a minute, like we're not seeing each other from the same point of view. And a discussion usually, logic, reason, and fairness usually wins.
You guys have a bed? Where do you think we sleep? Between the kangaroos outside. Who's a better driver? Well, obviously he is, because I can't drive.
Yes.
I had lessons.
I'm the only driver.
I had lessons years ago for like a year or year and a half, and I just can't do it, guys. I can drive physically, but the multitasking, like everything you have to do with your head, I can't do it.
Yeah, I would be too worried about you driving. I wouldn't like you driving.
I can't do the multitasking and the predicting what's going to happen. That's like so difficult for me.
Although you're not too bad. I think you underestimate it. A few times when we drive, I see someone and you see them at the same time. You go, whoa, like someone's pulling out. And I've seen them, but I'm paying attention to them as well.
Yeah, but that's just because I've got my eyes open and I happen to see it in that second.
Okay.
Probably. What's your spouse's hidden talent? You can make good pasta. That's
always food, isn't it?
Drawing.
Yeah.
That's a huge talent that you have.
Yeah.
Also, I would say just like talking in general.
Blabbing.
Blabbing is a secret talent.
I don't know if it's a good talent.
Twist of fate. Steph becomes a trucker next year. Well, maybe if I have like a huge road where nothing can go wrong and I can just sit like this all day.
Maybe you should play driving video games and then get used to it and then you'll want to drive.
Yeah, it's kind of silly because you know what's really interesting? I have like, out of all of my reoccurring dreams, I often dream that I'm driving or that I'm specifically that I'm stealing cars in the middle of the night and then I just drive around. And I think it's because I like being independent, or at least before I met you. And like driving is like very independent, right? So I would like it if I could drive, but it's just like...
I think you like the enclosed bubble of a car. It feels safe. It's just you. Nothing can touch you.
And it's independence also. You're not dependent on public transport or anything.
You can go wherever you want. Freedom. Yeah.
Hauling heavy loads of McDonald's. Oh yeah. You know what my top 3 reasons are for getting my driver's license, if I ever would? The first one is for independence, because it's cool. The second one is if something ever happens to Bobby, I can take him to the hospital. And the third one is going to the McDonald's drive-thru.
Well, I suspect maybe in the future you will try to get your license as I get older and I can't drive as much.
Yeah. Well, at least here, everything is bigger. Because in Holland, I don't know if anyone's ever gone to Holland, they've got like the most difficult, the most rules, the most...
Yeah, your roads are
the
like...
The roads are small.
It's like spaghetti.
They've got so many signs and rules. It's really difficult.
Yeah, we've got big roads here. I remember when we were in Holland, your dad was driving and I was in the passenger seat. Yeah. I was paying attention that you drive on the opposite side of the road. Okay, fine. And so I flip everything around. But even then, when your dad was like turning into streets and standing in the middle of the road here and waiting for... It's like, whoa, where are
Yeah.
you going? Like, you're in the middle of the road. Like, no, you're allowed to go here, and this is where you wait. And
Yeah, so at least here everything is bigger, so that's already good. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
anyway,
Humans' hidden talent is eating pancakes.
yeah.
I love pancakes. We don't eat enough pancakes. We still have to go to the pancake parlor one day.
They don't make great pancakes.
No?
They make American-style pancakes. I like the European ones, like the crepes.
Okay.
Like, they're between crepes and, the European. They're, like, thicker and dense, and they're big and flat. They're the size... the pancakes that are the size and thickness of, like, wraps. You know, wraps?
Yeah. Oh, that's very thin. Yeah.
That kind of size. Those European pancakes are the best. I love them. With strawberry jam.
I love pancakes with cheese, with ham and cheese. Like salty.
We can go to the crepe place here.
Yeah, we should go again.
Sweet and savory. All right. Enough.
We have one more, babe.
Do we?
Who's the fun person?
Who's more fun?
Who's more
I
fun?
would say I'm slightly more fun than you.
Yeah? Well, let's define fun.
Whose humor comes out more? Like, I probably joke, maybe because I talk more as well. So I like make little jokes and comments through the day. You're more quiet.
Well, I do know that I am, in certain moments, I can be a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I can get very excited, like on the cheat day. When it's about food, basically, I get very excited. But yeah, in general, I am more just calm, doing my thing.
I think more often I sprinkle fun and jokes through the day, and I'm more lighthearted. Whereas you, when you get into a mode, you're very funny and you joke around and you're silly. But most of the time, you're just like,
Yeah,
Still.
I would say so.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's more like in certain moments, I can be fun. Strawberry, basic Bobby. He loves jam on pancakes. Yeah.
Strawberry and blueberry jam. Strawberry first, blueberry, and then every other jam underneath that. So I don't know what it is about strawberry jam. Yep.
It's good.
Yep. Basic.
Steph is talking about food more than Boffin. It's a competition. You will never win, Boffin.
Yeah.
Because
you
I
won't.
love food.
No. Yep.
Yes.
You can't out food conversation, Stephanie. She will blab about food like I do on a stream. When I do my solo streams, and I can go for hours.
Yeah, I love food. I think I'm going to have some cereal when we're done. Maybe. I'll see.
My challenge in our marriage is not getting fat.
Well, guys, Monday is my birthday, and we should take a picture and put it on our Instagram because we're going to get some McDonald's for my birthday.
If I drive you there.
If you drive me there.
Otherwise, you're probably going to order it. You don't care. You're going to get it one way or another.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Have a good weekend, everybody. It's getting very hot. Today's going to be like 32 degrees or something.
34, I think.
34.
Thank you, Karu. It's on Monday, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You're getting old, babe.
I've hit the wall.
You hit the wall a few years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
The imaginary wall, I guess. But yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, given, I think from my perspective, given our age difference, in my eyes, you'll never hit the wall.
I'll never hit the wall.
Yeah, because from my perspective, I'm 15 years older.
All right.
Yeah, so you'll always be a certain image to me. So, but again, yeah. Objectively, yeah.
Thank you, Peg. That's Peg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here and enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see the rest of you on my channel, and we will see the rest of you
next week.
Yep.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.